I want to ask you a question. Why do we make money?
Personal satisfaction. I mean, the goal is to help people. Money is not the goal. Money is just means to the goal. Ideally, if you can travel the world for free, I'd take that option. Khalas, like
You said something very golden. You said personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
So there is a psychological element.
alcohol-free, coffee.
Alcohol
first,
free, and let's just dance while drinking espressos, bro.
I find that so weird.
Go to your 9 to 5, you know. Wear your suit.
But
do
this comes
something.
after they're on, you know.
Find
they go-
love. You have obviously different empowerment movements for women, which is amazing, sure. In many ways, what people don't realize in Fibladna, in our countries, women were very powerful.
Definitely.
It's not about, like, she couldn't marry more than one man or she wasn't doing business. Within the context of the family, the nuclear family and the outside family, if your tata is a good person, the family's good. If your tata's, you know when someone's about to die, you have an uncle who's going to steal all the inheritance. This is going to get me in a lot of trouble. My tata was, my grandfather was the mayor for 30 plus years. We used to say the same thing. I wouldn't be anything without her.
Hi guys, today we are joined with Hassan, the founder of Mishkah, a brand that brings Palestinian culture, olive oil, coffee, and the traditional pantry into the heart of Dubai. But before we jump into the brand, let's meet the person behind it. How are you? And please tell us, who is Hassan?
First of all, you practiced that.
That's natural.
You practiced that.
Natural.
You practiced that. No, I was surprised. Sarah. We were just having conversations before, and he just hit me with that. First of all, thank you for having me.
Lovely having you, bro.
I've not done many podcasts. Usually it's with a camera, phone camera. So this is cool when you have 3 cameras. I don't know which camera to look at though.
If you want to look at that one.
I'll look at this one. Again, thank you for having me. So do I introduce myself?
Yeah, definitely.
So I am, my name is Hassan. I'm Palestinian, born and raised in the UAE. I was born in Abu Dhabi in 1996 and moved to Dubai as a kid. I think I was like 6 or 5. And then I've been a Dubai kid ever since.
Yeah.
I got schooled here, did college here, did a bit of a break, did my master's outside, but then overall, my whole life has been here. I'm the founder of this place called Mishkah, which that's how me and you met.
Yeah.
We'll get to that down the road. But yeah, it's been quite the journey. Mishkah has been this, I would say, Mishkah is like a, let me introduce Mishkah in a way that, because I sometimes don't know how to introduce my own store. So Mishkah is more of a foodstuff store. We sell it olive oil, za'atar, summa, olives. And the whole idea was to this whole farm to table kind of thing, which many people have been doing recently, especially in Dubai. But it's kind of transformed into this more, I would say, concept store / venue. We rent it out for people, whether it's engagement parties, henna nights, a lot of corporate dinners, even supper clubs.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's turned into this its own kind of beast. But yeah, it's been fun.
How did it start? So was it first, did you first want to sell like olive oil? And because I know your grandparents used to work in that business back in Palestine. Well, was it you wanted a coffee shop and then you linked that to the identity? How did that all come together?
Well, firstly, my main business is not olive oil. So my main business is supply chain.
All right.
So I manage a freight forwarding company. I'm not going to get into what freight forwarding is because that will bore the hell out of your audience. But that is my main business. Right. That is my bread and butter. But being Palestinian, obviously, or any Levant Arab, I would say, your olive oil, your Lebna, your za'atar, it's a big part of your identity.
Every household has
100%.
a jar of olive oil.
Exactly. And I feel like you need to actualize that into your personality somehow as a Palestinian. So we have a lot of olive oil in our farm in Palestine, and as well as that, we have a lot of cousins and relatives and land around. And we started buying, and in general, I used to get like 100 plus tanks every year. So olive oil is in Arabic we say it's mawsim, so it's seasonal. Around November, October, the olive picking season. And usually it's 1 year where you have really good harvest, and then the second year, not so much. And that's internationally, by the way. I haven't got really too much into the science of it, but I know there is somewhere there. But yeah, so I think this was sometime in COVID. We were sitting down in lockdown. And then, Dubai being the place it was, it slowly started opening up. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be sitting on my ass, basically doing nothing. Let me try to create this space where I can celebrate my culture and something that's a bit more tickling for my creative mind. So yeah.
So you mentioned, so all this shows how important the Arabic identity is for you. But you mentioned you studied outside for a while. Do you want sharing where?
So yes, it actually it
affected
was
your career and-
so much. So I studied. It was actually an exchange program with Emirates Aviation College
Alright.
with a British university called Coventry, and
Alright,
I did.
Coventry.
So it was between Dubai and Coventry,
Yeah.
and I studied supply chain logistics. So my undergrad was in marketing.
Okay.
No shade to marketing, but you can go without a marketing degree.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, it's you could pick it up. Let's just say you could pick it up easier.
Yeah.
On the streets.
You can
the
learn
business
on your own. You
streets.
can get a few courses.
Exactly. So I would say probably it taught me, I mean, number one, you're delved into a new industry. I think supply chain is very cool. And it's very connected to olive oil, by the way.
Yeah.
We don't need to get into that, or we could, up to you. But I would say that it made me understand the value of the commodity that you sell, and also how much, in business you really have to start counting the numbers before you get the product.
Yeah.
It's from point A to point Z. And in supply chain, it teaches you that. So I think that's the number one lesson I learned. And by the way, olive oil is super expensive.
Yeah, definitely.
Liquid gold.
I
like,
mean, that's
haram.
why it's hard. We have every Palestinian probably has a supplier for olive oil that they talk to. We call her Al Hajja.
Are you Palestinian? Okay, there you go. What's your name? What's your name?
Come behind the camera. Introduce yourself.
Introduce yourself. You're already part of it now. Khalas.
Hi everyone, Ft.Hasan AL Zeer here, and I'm in the behind the scenes right now.
Are you doing the editing?
And for sure not.
You're just his friend. Okay,
Sure not.
okay,
You don't
okay.
want me to.
Okay, cool. Fair enough. Are you
Where-
Palestinian?
Yeah,
Okay, full on.
yeah.
Where?
Safar.
Safa. Oh, that's Palestinian.
Mhm.
That's definitely Palestinian. Are you Palestinian Lebanese like he is?
I lived in Lebanon.
You lived in Lebanon?
Yeah.
Okay. AUB?
AUB.
AUB.
Yeah,
AUB.
AUB connection.
I can always smell AUB.
We've been friends for 7 years.
It's in the Converse. And whenever I see someone wearing Converse, it's usually they're AUB. AUB, yeah. That or they go to Iris, but that's a different topic. We can remove that.
Iris.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what were the biggest challenges early on? So you mentioned the idea came around COVID when you were in quarantine.
What were the biggest challenges?
What was the?
Okay, so I just turned 30 now. At the time, I was 25-ish, 24. I think around 21 or 22, 2021 or 2022, I started this business.
Yeah.
Why was it? What were the challenges? Everything. And wallah, if you ask me what were the easy things, and I'm not even just saying this on camera,
Yeah.
everything about opening a business is super hard. And then you have this aspect when you look at it from a corporate setting, and then you have the other aspect when you look at it as a business owner.
Yeah.
I come from a very business-oriented family, and I still found it very difficult because it's a mindset, and I'll explain how. So, number one, I did not speak the language of influencers.
Yeah.
I don't understand. I'm just like, I will get 1 or 2 influencers with a lot of followers, irregardless of their actual reach, and I'll get the bar rolling.
Yeah.
I genuinely had that kind of mindset. Number two, it was in a time where crypto was coming up and everyone was just kind of booming and making money out of nothing. So I had that kind of hopeful mentality, that young kid in Dubai who's like, I can make it,
Yeah.
with no actual basis of reality, صراحة. So I would say that overall, the most challenging part was actually finding, ironically, you're going to be surprised, is finding an identity for your brand in a market like Dubai and the UAE.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, there's a new place, there's a new competitor every week. You're trying to stay
Every day.
You're trying to stay fresh. You're trying to stay relevant, for like better terms.
Yeah.
People, like we've seen this a lot. Like Alhamdulillah, Mishkah, I feel like is something that stays around. But you see a lot of brands that come for a year, maybe even for just like one winter, they're around and then they're gone. Khalas. So I feel like that's a big challenge. Actually, I wanted to ask you about that. How do you keep it fresh at Mishkah? Is it from the start you built the identity around it, right? And do you think that carried you forward? Or
To be honest, no idea. I genuinely, I don't know if I am. Because I second guess myself a lot.
yeah,
And like you said, very rightly so, there's this Dubai is, and I'm not just tooting the horn of, like, I am a Dubai kid for sure. I'm born, raised here. But man, Dubai is the New York of the region.
Yeah,
like
definitely.
you have, there's, I saw the statistic once about New York that they have like, I don't know how many, you could Google it if you want, how many restaurants are in New York. They said if you need several lifetimes to be able to go to every single restaurant in New York. And I feel like Dubai is that at a just obviously a bit smaller scale.
Yeah.
Like how many times are you going to eat per day to a restaurant, right? So Dubai, and not just restaurants, I mean businesses of all, like on every aspect, whether it's investments, whether it's contractors, whether it's coffee shop, blah, 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 blah. The list goes on. So I would say what helped me was just by virtue of it being cultural. And in many ways, I think it's cool now to be simplistic. Growing up here, it was all about, things being gold and fancy and thing. And then out of nowhere, people are like, wait, let me go to this more borderline Scandinavian, like simplistic, going to IKEA approach of like, let me make it back, like, let me get it closer to home.
Tone it down a bit,
Let me tone it the hell down. And I'm not saying that Palestinians are toning it down. We're very not toned down people. But I do think that people are really genuinely, and I mean this with my heart, they're looking for something close to home.
I feel like we're just overwhelmed these days a lot. I know you're always on your phones, but like at least let me, when I go somewhere, let it be quite
100%.
simple. Let me just enjoy my coffee in peace. I don't want it to be over the top.
Yeah.
I just want to feel like I'm at home. And I feel like Mishkah, you get that vibes. Like honestly, the times I've been, you go to work, you go to get a coffee, it smells nice, it smells like home.
It does smell like home. What does home smell like to you? So tell me more about you. Tell me more. Where did you grow up? Where are you originally from?
I've never been interviewed this. Yeah, I mean,
let's
born
run it
and
back.
raised Dubai kid.
Okay.
I stayed here till I was 17. Coming around business. My dad started a contracting company back in 2008. I grew up around business a lot. I've always been interested. Went to AUB, very fun university, as we know.
Fun how?
Aboudi there.
How's it fun, Aboud? Yeah? What's with Lebanese people on partying, by the way? You guys are the best partiers in the world.
We're good. We're good.
Them? Are you AUB people? If you're AUB, you're Lebanese. Khalas. It's done.
Yeah, I mean, people will disagree with you heavy.
Really? No, it's the best. It's the best.
But it's a very nice culture, صراحة. And growing up in AUB, like, because you go there 17, you're a kid essentially.
Yeah.
Well, you stay there till you're like 23, 22. فأنت your prime years, you're there. You live in a country where, at least at the time, there's دائما في توتر. So you get to experience a bit more of an adventurous lifestyle.
في توتر في لبنان؟
Yeah.
ليش؟ شو في بلبنان؟
أبدا الوضع
أنا بعرف إنه الموضوع.
Sometimes there was like the revolution, then the poor explosion, then the whole banking system failed. There was many things there.
بس يعني.
وبعدين حرب. Later on the
حرب.
Wow.
عزة. Wow.
So
Corona was the best thing in Lebanon at the time. Did you wear a mask in AUB?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, bro. I think the only
we're
people
not
wearing masks.
people that got arrested for not wearing a mask, no?
Arrested? Was it like martial law?
Yeah. Like
But I heard from my Lebanese friends in عادي رواق. بس في
is that they want to make a problem outfit. They used to like kind of
Really? God. Okay.
It was try.
What'd you study?
I did civil engineering.
Ooh la la.
Very family business.
So you made your dad proud in that sense. Is your dad a civil engineer?
Yeah.
Okay.
We have we're five kids. Sorry.
Brothers, sisters.
4 sisters, only son.
Only
very,
son. Me too, by the way.
Voila.
3 sisters, only son.
How do you find that?
Amazing. I do think guys with only sisters are
Elite.
Wallah, they're elite. We're the
Like,
only ones who know how to talk to girls, low key.
When you're younger,
Aboud, do you have sisters?
I have 2 and I have 2 brothers.
لا اوكي وضعه تمام. عبود's في السليم. Okay.
I feel like when you're younger you find it difficult. When you grow up you appreciate it more. You realize انه you learn a lot صراحة about how to interact with people. شوي بتكون رايق أكتر شوي.
You know how to talk to a woman. You know, like you can read the room better. Ironically.
I feel bad for people that don't have sisters at all. I feel like that's very, very hard. Then you'll grow up not having the understanding of how to actually. You need شوية نعومة بالحياة. While also still, of course, being at حالك. يعني يا زمان.
Masculine. No, I agree. I think I think for business as well.
Definitely.
أكتر شيء helped me wasn't even being in a business household. It was being between three girls who, okay, this means this person's upset. This means, whereas my friends اللي بس like they only had brothers, heathens.
Yeah.
Absolute heathens.
Because they like to elevate.
menaces to society.
Yeah.
مش مخ. ما والله العظيم وانا شاب بحكي يعني ما في مخ.
Yeah.
بفوت على الحيط, which is also good in some
Yeah.
if you want to be a site engineer, you know. So whatever. But yeah, okay.
I feel like they don't have the tone it down mindset. خاص إذا بتعلم معاه, he will go up with you. I feel like when you grow up with sisters, you need to learn that, okay, I need to kind of
100%.
relax.
Yeah, more emotional maturity for sure. For sure.
Just like to circle back شوي. Let me continue actually just to tell you. So after EB, I went to Spain for a year. I did a master's in data science.
Nice.
Madrid, very, very nice place. صراحة to stay. During EB, we started a business together.
Would you guys
called
start?
Agua Pop e-commerce.
Oh wow. This was what year?
This was around 2023 we started working
Yeah.
and launching 2024.
Yeah.
Nice. Wow.
So we had many challenges. So نحن initially wanted to launch in Lebanon. During that بلشت الحرب أول مرة. فهون we were quite confused because the poor إنه كان حيسكر الوضع بلبنان بلش it was going down. After ordering everything to Lebanon, we shipped it back to here.
Okay.
That process took forever to get the papers. طلعوا من Lebanon, we needed someone to go there, sign some papers, whatever, bring them in here. When you change your plans, خلاص, it just kind of changed everything for you. We did well for a while, but we didn't end up going all the way with it. وقفنا after a while. صراحة big learning experience. Yeah, I'm sure Abid will agree.
It's amazing. Well, every phase in it, you were just saying something I could relate to so much. Maybe your business, mashallah, is so much bigger. But when you start this, you can see that actually every single phase in it is actually really hard. There's nothing that's called, wallah, it's this is only hard and this is easy. It's everything that's hard. You think when you're finishing the website and the Instagram and we have the marketing ideas, it's all good. Now we're going to have to go and implement it on the Facebook ads and everything. You're going to have to find influencers. You're going to have to, so much to do.
Yeah.
So, and we didn't have the experience.
Yeah.
With our cost, because as he said, as Adam said already, we had a higher cost since we had to move our products and our whole thing from Lebanon to here. So we had an additional cost, so we had more things to cover. And so it didn't balance out with time.
Okay. This is a random question, but I feel like it was crossed my mind. Did you ever feel like at one point you had a lot of people telling you, yeah, but this exists already? Or
Yeah, definitely.
Did you guys hear that a lot?
Yeah.
I feel like for our generation, not to group myself, I don't know, I think you guys are a couple of years younger than me, but إنه يلا نفس هذا. كتير سمعت, I heard that a lot. Yeah, bro, this exists or that exists. And I'm not talking about Mishkah. Obviously, olive oil exists, so everyone who's Palestinian and their mother sells olive oil. But I always feel like there's a lot of that. How do you branch or differentiate? What's your unique selling point?
Definitely.
If you live in a very saturated market?
I mean, especially not to bring it back to social media, but خاص until you're connected for the first time ever. You can see literally every business that exists on your phone. If they have social media, something you might be interested in, you're gonna see it. فصار now we're more aware of the size of how many competitors you actually have. حتى not to mention the big ones, but حتى the small ones that are starting out, there's probably a lot more. You start understanding and appreciating the businesses that actually are considered successful when you realize the challenges you go through. I know people early on are gonna always tell you, no, that's already been done, you shouldn't do it. حتى انت مع حالك, you're gonna start second guessing.
Yeah.
Is my product better? You're gonna indirectly start taking ideas from competitors. You're gonna lose your, let's say, your unique selling point by looking around too much. I feel like once you tone it out شوي, ركز على what your unique selling point is, for example, what you want your users to experience.
Yeah.
I feel like that's when you start standing out. لأنه the only way you're gonna find out is by actually testing. صراحة. If you're not willing to take the risk, خلاص, like you might as well just stay home. Especially when we're speaking, but you can just get a 9 to 5, enjoy it. But is that you like starting your own business, you're gonna need to like taking risks.
What do you think? I'm opening a lot of controversial topics, man.
No, I love it.
What do you think is the difference between a person who's working 9 to 5, challenge-wise, and what's their challenges, and a person like you who are trying to be business owners or start their own thing?
So I do both actually. So I have a 9 to 5 with SAP. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I do actually. Yes, I have a lot of friends working another competitor. I'll mention them. Udo.
We're better.
We're better. I know. They said you guys are. I'm not gonna say that. I can't say that.
Business owner, of course. But I understand the struggles from both. With 9 to 5, you have the security. You're enjoying it. خلاص بترتاح. Weekends, you have your weekends off. تقعد. You can energize شوي.
Yeah.
The problem with 9 to 5 is you lack creativity. Especially if you work in a big company, a lot of layers of approvals you have to go through.
Yeah.
But if I get it, like sometimes I'm working, I'm like, shit, if I bring this up to the client, we can probably sell more. But if I want to do that, لازم I need to send it to the person above me. They need to get the approval from that person. Then we need to talk to the account partner executive.
Too much bureaucracy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
فبتضيع, your creativity gets lost. خلاص you're put into a box. We just kind of work around what the people before used to do, the culture of the business that you're in. But some people like that. خلاص, like I already get my benefits, I get my insurance, I get my good salary, my car, my housing, and I'm happy. I get my vacations every year. I travel. That's good for me. But then you have people that like to kind of break out business owner. Bigger risk, bigger reward, of course.
Yeah.
If it does work out.
Yeah.
Not corporate, obviously, also you can make it big too. But business is way different. You get to set your own hours, which people think means that you get to work like 3 hours a day. But it's actually you get to sleep maybe 3 hours a day.
No.
You have to work weekends. Your أصعب part to be business owner is you have to set your schedule. So everything that I mentioned that was bad about corporate is also a bad thing about.
It's ironically more.
The lack
worse.
of it is so
worse.
bad because, and Anna, for example, with Influency, you have to kind of think of customers you want to talk to. You have to kind of think of the content you want to do. You have to think of your personal brand. You have to think of are your employees happy?
Yeah.
Your suppliers, your tech team, your everything. حتى even if you have a bigger team, you're still always going to be the person that kind of decides everything. Unless you make it super big and it's like a unicorn company. Obviously, شوي that becomes different.
Yeah.
But your day-to-day will always be hectic.
Yeah.
But what's nice about it is obviously you're your own guy. يعني خلاص, I have my own hours. I have my safe space. And you've experienced it probably with Mishkah and with the logistics company. You have the freedom to do, and if you get an idea, you can have it, get people started on it tomorrow,
Yes, for sure. I think from the logistics standpoint, it was different because a lot of the industry is set. They know what to do. I know what to do, and we bounce. The structure is important. I'm not a very structured person. Several women I've met in my life told me it's because of my star sign, and I don't really believe in that.
What's your star sign?
Thank you for asking. I'm a Pisces, which ما بعرف يعني حوت سمكة وإله هو. المهم بسبح. وأنا هيك أنا مراتي مخي like I'm in my brain. I just like I'd be driving. I'll take the wrong exit because I'm thinking about something else. All the time. Now because I'm locked in with you, but usually I'm just always. So whenever I'm at work doing the 9 to 5, it's never really an actual 9 to 5 for me, but it's structured because there's the land freight department, there's the ocean freight department, there's the fairs and exhibitions, blah blah blah, and I get to pick up from other people and what they're doing, kind of the structure of it all, and it makes me more structured. Whereas in Mishkah, I need to set the structure, and yes, that I think it's also a big struggle for me. Working your own time, is it easy to balance? No. I've learned delegation is probably the most important thing after having a proper business plan and networking, real networking, not like going to like a crypto shisha event in Marina. No, that's not like, I mean, like wining and dining people, not literally, but you can if you want to. Going out and starting actual personal relationships, caring about people. That like once people feel that, and I think probably your father and our father's generations, they have that.
Definitely.
And I do think they like CEOs of that time, they always have that extra touch to maybe our generation, to be honest with you. Because في عندنا نوع من I feel like we have, I don't know why I keep speaking Arabic. I always speak in English. But anyways, we could put subtitles. المهم, I do think other than networking, delegation is the number one thing that you need to learn how to do. And I'm very bad at it. Previously, I didn't know when to say like, this person is this or this person is that. Because number one, I'll tell you 3 things I learned. عشان أختصر لك إياها.
No,
So you can do one of those Instagram videos where 1, 2, 3 as if أنا شو fucking Elon Musk قدامك يعني ببيع زيت في الخوز يعني. المهم okay, so I would say in order to delegate, you need to be able to understand the person.
Yeah.
But make sure that you don't, and let me word this properly so I don't get in trouble. Make sure that if you're going to decide to work with a friend, make sure, number one, that you're okay with losing that friend.
Definitely, yeah.
Never work with family. I'm just going to put it out there. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is, it's not gospel, but don't work with family.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm saying for me personally, I value family over money, over everything. And your wife or your girlfriend is family.
Yeah.
Don't work with your wife or girlfriend, bro.
No.
You know what I mean?
That's a big...
and that's something a lot of me and my friends, we did, especially in the past 10 years, is, Allah, bro, we need to do this, we need to do that. Your relationship will be based on that. Even if they're perfect and you're perfect, but khalas, it will change the dynamic of the relationship. So this is number one. Number two, if you're delegating to someone, I think it's very important that you look at their competencies and be very honest. What is their competencies? And sometimes it's, it's nice to be like, they have potential to be this. But you need to make sure that they are actually, like, don't call a spade a spade. If someone is good with people, have them customer facing. If they are horrible with people and then they come back to you and go like, Wallah bro, yani, I don't know. I feel like yani, it's people are not responding. No, you're just bad at it.
Yeah.
But it's my fault because I didn't tell you. And
Play to their strength.
100%. And I feel like God created us in a way that everyone is genuinely, subhanAllah, everyone is genuinely good at something.
Yeah, definitely.
وحتى the people who don't know they're good at something, والله العظيم, you're good at something. رب العالمين وزعنا بطريقة مش طبيعية. So everyone has something in them, and you just need to be able, as a manager or a leader, quote unquote, is to be able to get that out of someone. And number 3, I would say, is in order to how that you need to be competent yourself, and you need to be able to be disciplined, and you need to be able to understand what the topic at hand is. Is that if you don't know what the hell you're doing, how the hell do you expect people to do it? So I see this a lot where people are good at one thing. And for example, I know a lot of managers, حتى growing up around my dad, and I loved sitting with my dad because, again, he's that old school CEO mentality. And I'd meet a lot of his friends, and all of them were different, and all of them were equally successful, some more than others. None of them had one formula. بفتح Instagram, it's all about this or it's all about that. There is genuinely no one formula. That is both a socioeconomic epidemic we have, and a social media thing as well, because people always have this idea that khalas, we have social media now, or we have this technology or X technology, and this is the only way to go. We did the same with crypto. We're doing now the same with, I don't know what the hell, X or whatever. But I think
people like to force that. Vasil Mishkla also is that people benefit from you thinking that there's one formula. I know then I can come tell you, if you follow my steps exactly, buy my course for $600, which we've fallen for this many times. I'd say 2 times, not many times. But
we all did. No.
Well, you think, if I follow him 100%, I will be as successful as him. What you realize after is he teaches you how to kind of start.
Yeah.
But a lot of parts you could have learned on your own. Maybe your business idea doesn't really align with the kind of strategy that he has for you. ففي كتير قصص that
what do you think we're missing? What do you think our generation let's just take this mostly from a business perspective, since I think that's what you're kind of focusing on. What do you think our generation is missing in that sense?
The business.
What are we lacking? Or like the younger people, 35 and under?
I think we have a lot of repeat businesses ideas. Let's say everyone goes into AI, everyone goes into crypto as well, everyone goes into crypto. We don't really have people that, we do of course have people that try different things, but the overwhelming majority goes in the same direction as everyone else.
Yeah.
For example, the problem with this, I would say, at least in the startup industry, is that investors also fall for the same trap. I'll tell you, fintech, for example, in the UAE right now, very easy to get investors for it as a startup. You find a lot of businesses that are fintech now. I don't know what we're gonna do with all those fintech companies in 5 years from now. When like, okay, we need maybe like 100, but we don't need 3,000 fintech companies. كل واحد, one of them fixes the integration when you're paying this side. He takes 1%, and then this other guy.
Yeah.
I feel like investors or the people that are investing in businesses should kind of also be smart about how to lead the market. But everyone wants to make money. Command that's hard to control. What do you think?
I'll tell you
this generation is lacking.
Personality. I think we're looking for. We can't mention names, but a lot of those people that you guys, or myself included, we've signed up for their programs to learn, because we were like, okay, this is a figure that we idolize. And as human being in general, we tend to idolize people in order to extract information, because like this is the person that's making it. And the amount of people who claim to be this amount of successful, but they would be like just posting online things and then saying constantly, I always notice it, man, I don't need to do this. I'm doing it for you guys. But subscribe to my school of Mabaraf Shu for $30.
Well, yeah, right, 30. Now at this point, it's like $500 a month, or
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy.
$3,000, $4,000.
Yes. And they're making a lot of their money, which is very smart, because they are selling a personal brand.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important. We can get to that. I think personal brand is very important these days. However, what I do think when I say we are lacking personality is, look, I'll give you an example. The past 3-4 months, so it hasn't been the quietest for us, right? Alhamdulillah, we live in a very safe country with great leadership. And it exemplified to me why leadership, human leadership, may I add, will never be replaced. It's because there are decisions in moments in time where a human being will have to follow another human being. And this is because we are social animals. And we need to follow what other people do. And you can apply that to a government. You can apply that to a business. You can apply that to a corporation. You can apply that to a household. There needs to be someone who puts themselves ahead of others. And you know what? Lead the pack. And it's not in like a alpha male, I'm the boss. No. In a very, and not in a sacrificial type of way either. But you need to show other people and lead by example. And what I saw in the UAE, especially working in logistics, and you can tell we had problems in logistics. Yeah, there's something called the Strait of Hormuz that was closed, right? So I sat with my father and I saw a lot of the behind the scenes. So he works in Abu Dhabi. He works in Abu Dhabi ports in logistics, and this is public knowledge, so I can say that. And I got to see a lot of the behind the scenes. So putting me to the side, because I'm only 30, he's 66, 67. Seeing the way he had to reorganize everything, the way they moved all the people from the port in Abu Dhabi because it was closed. Jebel Ali was closed. One of the biggest ports في المنطقة كلها was closed in Jebel Ali. And I don't need to. You could put, I don't know, an infographic of how many containers pass through Jebel Ali. Jebel Ali is a machine, and it's a big part of the GDP of the UAE. And just the way everything was restructured, it was very humane. It was very man management. It was very, listen, I'm gonna go to this X location, مع إنه it's dangerous, and I'm gonna be there. And people felt that, and people were scared. But guess what? You sit here in the UAE, and a lot of people made fun of it. But you're scrolling, and I remember I had a family member who was very scared in the beginning, and I'm just gonna give this example. And she was, I don't know if it was a trauma response or something, but خلاص, something popped and she couldn't sleep. Haram, it was for me it was okay صراحة يعني. بس partly because I'm in the UAE and I know it's covered. But long story short, a day and a half later, she's walking through social media and she's like, look, Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed is walking in Dubai Mall.
That gives you a sense of peace.
And then you got a lot of Westerners go like, oh, whatever, he's walking in a mall. But it's like, no, he just showed everyone that it's okay. Leadership by example. Exactly. I know it's a very, very simple gesture. But for the people who were scared, like my relative, it was everything. Yeah. And this is just a minute, simple example how to show, or how I've been seeing that, living in the UAE. So is it saturated? Yes. But now more than ever, I know for a fact in human leadership, inshallah, AI can do 90% of your work. Someone's going to be leading this machine, man.
Yeah.
For the 3 other people in the back office, you need someone for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, human touch.
Human will never. Yeah, I feel like humans are.
قلبت TED Talk, by the way. ما بعرف ليه.
Well, no, I like it because الصراحة, especially right now, again, just to link it to startups, you feel like a lot of startups are talking about agentic AI companies where there's only one human and everyone else is just
Gentica, what is that?
agentic AI. So basically, AI that does tasks, that triggers it. So you don't need to tell it to do things; it just does
Yeah.
them on its own. So you
Yeah.
kind of build a system around it, and it does its own thing. It takes decisions, it does actions. I feel like a lot of people think that's the future, but it's like you just mentioned, a future like that would suck. Like, no,
No way.
you need someone to kind of carry you around as humans in an
100%.
office. تخيل انت, you're just sitting in an office alone with like 10 machines around you. That would be depressing very quickly.
Especially if you went to AUB.
Yeah.
I feel like you lived your life like that. لا تحكي لي لا AI ولا بطيخ. Give me that AUB lifestyle, bro. But yeah.
Just to touch back on Mishka a bit and link it to the Palestinian culture.
The Palestinian culture, yes.
How
Tell me.
important is the Palestinian culture to Mishka? And do
Okay.
you think it represents Palestine only, the Levant as a whole, the Arab
that's a good
world
question.
as a...
That's a good question. So, Anna, initially when I started Mishkah, it wasn't something that I wanted to do Palestinian.
Yeah.
Why? Because I didn't want to narrow it down.
Yeah.
A lot of people came. شجرة زيتون, it's a Palestinian place. خلاص.
Yeah.
They made it into a Palestinian place. What does the Palestinian culture mean to Mishkah? It is Mishkah. Let's be honest. And not necessarily Palestinian culture. We are bringing to a very up and coming city like Dubai in terms of the art scene. وهيك. We're bringing culture back, which sounds weird because culture never went away. But again, we have a lot of expats here, a lot of people living away from home, and now again, if you lived a certain lifestyle at home, there's only so much partying and so much going out with your friends and going to the desert, going to the malls. That's nice, but people want to feel like I want to smell the za'atar. I want to feel like I'm in a living room, and that's why my grandmother, who is the logo of the store, Teta Anisa Allah yarhamha, she's my paternal grandmother, my dad's mom. And why she is the logo is because for me, she represents Palestine. Simple as. For me, I don't view the culture as one of, at least not before. I just wanted to, I didn't view it as this very detrimental, heartbreaking, whatever you see on the news. I know it is obviously all of those things. For me, it was more, it's home. It's my teta. It's my, just like when you go back home, or if you lived in Lebanon or whatever it is, for you, زي محمود درويش أحن إلى خبز أمي ولا قهوة أمي ولا ما بعرف الخبز والقهوة بتعرف شو عندنا غير الخبز والقهوة وشوية زعتر والسيجارة الصباحية. So for that, the coffee and the za'atar and the olive oil, people sometimes make fun of it. They're like, bro, خلاص طلع من راسي يعني كلها زيت يعني it's not like علامة شو اسمه. But for us, it's home, man.
I think especially the people that are living outside home,
100%.
it resonates a lot with them.
100%. And this is why أكتر شيء I get when people visit Mishkah is, wow, it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
Like for the past 4 years, it's very comfortable because I've designed it in a way, alhamdulillah, yani, I successfully it's like a Palestinian living room.
I want to touch كمان on something you mentioned about Palestinian culture and looking at the positives of it. I feel like المشكلة that I struggle a lot with is I see a lot of Palestinian movies, maybe the good ones I miss, but see a lot that fixate on the struggles. The struggles of a Palestinian معروفين. It's part of us.
The struggle of a Palestinian man.
معروفين. But I feel like people fixate too much. People, like, I hate the idea that people, like in Spain, for example, when I was living, the first thing people tell me when I tell them that I'm Palestinian, they're like, oh, we're so sorry, we're so, I appreciate that. But كمان I don't need to live the rest of my life everyone feeling bad for me. No, عادي نحن الحمد لله إنه we're struggling, 100%. Of course.
Yeah.
But كمان we have a culture. Our culture isn't just like being people that people feel bad for. نحن we have good culture. That's why I like places like Mishkah, for example, that shows people the other sides.
Yeah.
You know, like you were saying, the coffee shop. I've never been to Palestine, but I can imagine what it's like.
Yeah.
I've heard stories from my grandparents everything. But you know, like you're saying, like القهوة الصبح with أو you go where everyone meets الكوفي شوب تبع الضيعة تقعدوا كوباية قهوة.
It's very close to
دخان.
Lebanon.
نحن we were تجار دخان في فلسطين.
Really?
لهلا الحمد لله.
حلو. Tobacco.
In the genetics لهلا بعد القصة.
Okay. بدخن هلا. Okay.
فإنه I can just imagine إنه هذا الجو you تلف سيجارتك القهوة اللي لك وخلص like you sit. That's the feeling we miss without even being there. I can imagine the people that live there want to experience that.
Yeah.
That's why places like Mishka and other places that
Yeah.
I mean I don't know any other places like that here. You probably are more familiar with them, but
that's a joke. You open the topic that for me it could be a podcast on its own. والله العظيم. Genuinely, I struggle with this a lot. But back to what you were saying. هلا I wasn't from Jaffa or Akka. I'm from a town called Selfit. Selfit is this كانت تابعة لطول كرم at one point and then صارت تابعة لنابلس وبعدين it's its own بلدية now. And my grandfather was actually the mayor of that town for 30 plus years. You know, if you go to Mishkah, you'll find a picture with him مع الملك حسين تاع الأردن. هو استلم المفاتيح. So there is a I would say an acceptable understanding of our background, but we're not from one of those, you know, ahali were not tobacco هذا. They weren't like necessarily rich like my forefathers or my great grandfathers. فلاحين. فلاحين. Like غنم وهذا وبس just very educated people who clearly cared about their society because again سيدي كان مصلح القبيلة or whatever they used to call it. Whenever يعني واحدة انه واحدة بدها تطلق زوجها عشان مثلا ما قصش الدجاج صح ولا whatever هو بيجي لا ما تطلقيهوش لسه وكذا والخلع غالي. فالمهم where would I answer your question? I think it's difficult because there's two parts to it. You cannot remove elements of struggle. And you should apply that to all cultures in the world. So for example, Black culture in America, a big part of hip hop culture is it stems through the pain.
Exactly.
A big part of any culture that has went through something, it usually brings up something beautiful. But I completely agree with you in one aspect, which is there a way, let me rephrase the question, is there a way where we can show the Palestinian struggle and then also show you who I am as not just a struggle? Because I do think in many ways, once you diminish me to just a struggle, as mighty as the struggle and as just as the struggle is, because I'm not diminishing from the struggle. Because in the end of the day, I'm a guy who, alhamdulillah, and I think this applies to all of us, whether it's here or Lebanon, you know, we never went through what those people went through. But I do think you need to make things appealing to people. And apply that to a business. I don't want you to come to my store وتطلع تعيط. عايز شو السالفة؟ ليش؟ أنا جاي أنت تشرب كاسة قهوة feel إنه you know what هذا الإنسان عربي مضياف, you know, which is what a Palestinian is. So in that aspect, I agree with you. That's what I want people to think. I don't want people to think it's necessarily a Palestinian business. It's a business in Al-Quds that is owned by a Palestinian, which represents, hopefully, to some degree, elements of the Palestinian culture or my understanding of culture, because my upbringing is different to your upbringing, is different to your upbringing. You know what I mean? So I think the best way you need to do it is focus on what makes you you as inshallah Palestinian, Pakistani, Norwegian, and then show it. Is that a good answer?
I like it. لا I like it.
Clearly just talking about the struggle, you clearly aren't trying to show only the struggle, because for us
الله يرحمها.
it shows إن إحنا بالنسبة لنا فلسطين a sign of strength kind of.
A sign of?
Strength.
Yes.
Those are the women that were able to bring us up even in Palestine or outside with all of this struggle. So بالنسبة لنا إحنا it's a sign of strength. So you took that and you made it the logo of your shop.
100%.
That it's not about the struggle.
100%.
Our culture with the struggle and the strength as well.
100%. I never said this in an interview, and I've done a few. I also could be an episode on its own. What you said, which is the concept of matriarchy. a lot of people now, you have obviously different empowerment movements for women, which is amazing, sure. But in many ways, what people don't realize in Fibladna, in our countries, women were very powerful.
Definitely.
It's not about, like, she couldn't marry more than one man, or she wasn't doing business. Within the within the context of the family, the nuclear family and the outside family, and we all know this, by the way. If your tata is a good person, the family is good. If your tata is issue minno, you know when someone's about to die, you have an uncle who's going to steal all the inheritance. This is going to get me in a lot of trouble, but I'm going to say it. I've always wanted to say this. You know, in Arabic culture, and especially Shami culture, so Lebanon, Palestine, Syria, and I can't apply it to everyone, but Palestinian Lebanese, I would say somewhat matriarchal when it comes to decision making.
Now that you mention it, 100%.
Into your tata, how powerful was she? My tata was, man, and people always say this. My grandfather was the mayor for 30 plus years. He, Allah yarhamu, he used to say the same thing. I wouldn't be anything without her.
Definitely.
And he's a fallahi guy, old school, زوج أكثر من مرة, you know, you have it. But it's super important that we don't just add new Western ideas for no reason. And this is part of Mishkah, which is culture and identity. Let's bring back, okay, Teta, she's my logo. Why is she important? She was important because she was making the decisions. ما سكتت عن الحق. إذا شافت حدا بغلط, or she saw someone making a mistake بحق حدا تاني, or someone was trying to do something wrong on someone else's behalf, she would stop it. I always grew up thinking that's a masculine thing. I mean, you could be a man. In Arabic we say رجولة صفة وليس إنه شو اسمه. It's not a gender thing. It's a character thing. True. And she was قد 100 زلمة, so yeah.
And I think that's to go back to what we're talking about with the representing struggle in a good way. I think grandmas, grandparents, they do that. They're not bad people. They're very nice people that have been through a lot of struggle, but you see it in their personality.
But they say it how it is.
Exactly. Bro, my grandma, Allah yarhamha, her name was Diba. The name, I just want to say the story and I feel like it's cool.
Please.
So she was
Diba.
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 مثل الديب بس female, Diba.
Wow.
So why was she called that?
Never heard that.
Every time they had a daughter, she would pass away. They told them, you have to name her after like a wild, like a strong animal, and she will survive. So they called her Diva, and she was, bro, the most powerful. Like, I know feminists. If you want someone to look at Ft.Hasan. Bro, she was very, very strong. Very she had aura, bro.
She had
Gen
aura.
Z would say aura. لأنه Allah yarhamu جدي passed away early. During the wars in Lebanon, حرب المخيمات, she took care of all her kids. So my mom has 6 siblings. You have like 6 or 7 kids. صراحة I can't count right now. But they're taking care of that. Alhamdulillah, now they're all doing well in life. كبروا, like they all have their own kids. For that struggle, you transform it and put it into your family. That's, I feel like, to mention feminism again, that's true feminism, is using your struggle to actually, for the good mission of all of us and equality.
I love that story. You should have talked about this before, by the way.
Diba.
Diba. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
For us, صراحة, like, a big part of the culture, and you don't see that a lot, especially like guys and girls. And very clear here. We take a lot now from the Western society.
Yes.
I don't want to keep saying Western, but we take a lot from their culture without really looking first at our culture.
100%, bro.
نتعلم from our grandparents.
2
our
mics
parents.
and I'm speaking in American English.
Yeah.
We're taking from the Western culture for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But some things we can take, some things we should probably look at our culture first before. But like you're saying, يمكن this podcast فينا نعملها بالعربي, all of it. كمان that would have been just as good.
Or it could be mixed, like we actually speak.
Yeah.
أنا ما بعرف شاب فلسطيني أو لبناني أو سوري ما بحكي عربي, English, or
The
Français.
Dubai accent. Dubai accent is a mix of all of them.
I think is there a Dubai accent? I never noticed.
I think so. Yeah.
There's
عن جد?
في.
It's a bit of all. But you can tell whoever is Egyptian is Egyptian, Syrian is Syrian, but still it's like the
People usually can't tell I'm Palestinian by me speaking English.
Yeah, I couldn't tell.
Yeah. So I think
العربي. Do you use specific Palestine, like تحكي
إنه
خلاص
شلكم وشلي وكلي. أنا أبوي بحكي
شنافة
هيك أبوي بحكي هيك بس لا أمي is Nabilsi, so I speak a bit more like her.
بس هي العزة اللي قلتها مش
عزا لا برو I'm a فلاحي boy you can see it
عزا.
I'm a فلاحي boy for sure
ما
يا
كله
هو الوحيد اللي كان يلف
لا، لا، نحن
تباكو دخل اسمع فات
فلاحين.
علينا بالعرض قلنا انا كنت الف تباكو وكان يدخنوا ليش احنا اهلنا شو كانوا
نحن
يلعبوا في الغنم يعني
نحن فلاحين بس دخان بس هذا الفرق بس ستيل
دخلوا
فلاحين
يفلحوا
فلاحين معهم مصاري.
بالضبط لا لا
ف هو في كتير difference و just to go back شوي to Mishka the business model وهيك
yeah
just because I feel like a lot of people get inspiration from like maybe like a coffee shop owners looking at this they need some ideas so other than just the identity feed there's the business side of it
yes
which is you host events you have like you mentioned
Yes.
supper clubs what was the first event why did you decide to go with the event host was that something you started with or something you realized
No.
along the way
I realized on the way my first ever event I still remember it like it was yesterday it was called it was this I think it was like a fashion release of some sort from a really really sweet person she's very talented اسمها Rimami that's the name of her brand she's a Palestinian fashion designer and shout out to Rimami and I remember she hit me up saying she wants to host in a better Palestinian place and I was actually influencer filled and everything and it opened my eyes I'm like wait I should be doing this you know I have a relatively big space and the nice thing about Kuz you have warehouses that are relatively big in size and yeah I'm like I have to actualize or make use and capitalize on this space more so and I've been doing events ever since.
what about the other side of the business model so obviously كمان عندك it's a coffee shop what's that like so being in F&B in Dubai
Oh my god so I'll tell you one thing about coffee here people know their coffee not everyone but from the business backend side very very knowledgeable about coffee the people here are knowledgeable about coffee the way the French are knowledgeable about wine they know the different grades different grinds different Colombian Brazilian Ethiopian
people take it seriously
they take it too seriously and I'm like bro just give me an espresso you know if it's acidic مش acidic
but no you get used to it because like whenever I'm in Europe bro their coffee culture is shit صراحة. In Spain you ask for an iced Americano it's basically a hot Americano in ice ice melts it becomes just lukewarm
but hey man, in Italy it's good though in Italy it's really good I don't know maybe you don't like espressos but in Italy it's different levels صراحة. But then again why Dubai is so special because if you go to Italy and ask for something outside of the box they're gonna look at you like into you know I don't know like you
Spanish
peed
latte.
on their Statue of Liberty but in Dubai you will find it
but you know what's a small funny story for you do you sell Spanish lattes
yeah of course
you know in Spain I've lived there for a year when let's say 90% of places I asked for a Spanish latte they looked at me like I was crazy bro.
but they have it but it's called something else
whenever I'd say Spanish latte they're like
it's not called Spanish latte what is it called in Spain it's called it's the thing with the condensed milk bro but it's a lot of condensed milk in Spain I think they put like a small cup and then it's like this much condensed milk
I think so but for them it's not here it's linked to the Spanish car like
well Dubai chocolate is not called Dubai chocolate
actually I have some nice ideas I'll show you there's a coffee shop I used to go to in Spain I feel like you can get some inspo they use tahini in their coffee
yum
they host coffee raves like
it's a thing here too by the way yeah people do a lot of coffee raves no. I hate coffee raves bro I hate coffee raves bro يعني خلاص
عايش جو
طلع من راسي يعني too much زي انه بيتزا bro خلاص شو coffee rave والله كذا مرة جالي واحد I would like to do a coffee rave in Europe a lot of coffee raves
they're like alcohol free coffee
and let's just dance while drinking espressos bro
I find that so weird
go to your 9 to 5 you know wear your suit and like
but this comes after the run you know
find love
they go on their 6 a.m. run and then they do the coffee
6 a.m. run بالضبط you know what's funny is people a lot of the times again with the whole personal brand I don't judge people because I meet a lot of people and they're always like yo like I just met this influencer and they're so different in real life and hey bro of course I mean, have you met an actor who's real in real life of course it's a persona they sound they look different that's okay that's normal
definitely
but I think the only thing I'll only be a bit against is if you're doing business that goes against your values,
Yeah.
your core values, then you're a drug
100%.
dealer at that point. Like you're
You stand for nothing.
you're a different person. And that's where I judge you. But إذا أنت مثلا you're trying to put on a persona, that's بالعكس شاطر, bravo, you know?
That's
Even if
actually
you
a point. So I've seen a lot as a business owner yourself. عندك هذا owner founder lifestyle. Wake up at 5 a.m. ice bath, run, go to the office at 9, work. Do you think that's realistic? Is that
no, it's all for show, bro. Like some people do it.
Yeah.
There's this like Gary V mentality of people of like
hustle?
hustler culture and all this stuff. It's ridiculous. You don't need to hustle anything. You can make money doing less. What is the goal at the end of the day? If your goal is to hustle and you want to fill a void, do it.
Yeah.
But if your goal is to actually just succeed, then no, you can do it doing less, and that's more efficient. Isn't the whole point of AI is for us to be able to do more stuff doing less? Then do stuff doing less. لا تعمل إياها إنه أنت 9 ل 5 الصبح I'm this person who I'm better than you because I wake up earlier and I go on the run and then I go to the gym. I do think it's people like to elevate themselves by saying that they are like this, and I do think it's unfair for the younger people who think they look up to you and think I have to wake up at 5 a.m. Wake up 5 a.m. إذا بدك تصلي الفجر.
Yeah.
Do it for رب العالمين, okay? Don't do it for TikTok.
Because like you mentioned, feel personality that you have to put on. Like when we first started, كنا عم نحكي عادي, and then when I did the intro, it was a completely different energy that you give out.
Yeah.
First, make situations, I understand. I mean, you're obviously doing your job. حتى when you're on sales calls, when you're talking to investors, you need to have multiple hats that you can wear. But you need to have a hat that you can take off when you go home, that you're happy to live with.
Yeah.
Actually, behind the scenes, when the cameras are off, when your employees aren't there, تكون something that you can actually sleep with, مرتاح مبسوط من حالك. Because I feel like at the end of the day, we do this all for personal satisfaction. يعني I can go to bed happy with the work that I put out.
I want to ask you a question. Why do we make money?
Why?
Like why do you want to make money in your life? Why do you want to make a business? To make money, right?
Yeah.
Why do you want to make money?
Personal satisfaction. I mean, the goal is to help people. تكون قادر تساعد, قادر to do what you want. I mean, the goal, money is not the goal. Money is just means to the goal.
Means to the end. Yeah, 100%.
So it gives you the freedom to travel the world. Ideally, if you can travel the world for free, I'd take that option وخلاص. Like
100%.
the money, I'll just get to travel.
You said something very golden. You said personal satisfaction.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a psychological element.
Definitely.
And it goes back to what I was saying, what we lack, I think, not to generalize. Well, I feel a lot of really cool people and interesting people who I idolize who are younger than me. But my point is, there's a psychological element here.
Yeah.
What are we doing and why are we doing it? If you are doing things, and I've seen this with so many businesses these days, they know when to make money and leave.
100%.
But what's your strategy? What's your long-term strategy? What's your goal? You just said, I want to be able to provide, right?
Yeah.
I think you said that?
Yeah.
And I think as a man, a big part of us feel like we want to care for the people we love, صح?
Definitely.
I mean, what if you can do that? But would you be okay with providing given that you are doing something that goes against everything you believe in?
No. So you need to have your lines. It's something that
your lines.
We've had a few lines.
Sorry to cut you off. We grew up something I know for a fact. Your dad told you this. I know for a fact probably your dad told you this. And the line is, business is business.
Yeah.
Business is not business.
Business is not business.
Business is life. And you need to act, in my opinion, in a way that's hey bro, everything. Why do I always put on a Lebanese accent? Listen, man, I love the Lebanese. Wallahi al-azim, I love Lebanese people. Whenever I'm trying to do like a corporate guy, hey bro,
alter ego's Lebanese.
I don't know what's happening, bro. مش طبيعي. I'm gonna get in trouble with so many Lebanese people. And hey bro, I'm the head of marketing at Nestle.
I feel like that was personal.
انه انجح حدا برو انه ايه برو let's go to Iris. I'm joking. Okay, استغفر الله. Cut that out. المهم. So my point is انه Mishkah, just to connect everything عشان ما انت تضيع بالproduction aspect. Mishkah business culture. In the beginning I thought, wow, I'm doing something crazy. I'm adding culture and identity to business. All business has culture. Every corporation has a culture. Who sets the culture? The boss. The branding is a big part of the culture, but the everyday things, the things you do, the host, the flavors, the taste, the colors, the textures, that's what the culture is. And for me, I was very blessed to have this, I would say, veneer of my culture to kind of carry the wave, because I didn't have to make up a culture.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I still didn't have to learn to how to delegate the business side of it. I'm still learning that every day,
100%.
and I'm gonna be learning that for a while. But
It's a steep learning curve being
so
a business owner.
so but to summarize, I don't think culture was something I added. It added to me. It was just about how do you harness that energy and that vibe in a way that's, like you said, don't capitalize on people's struggle.
Yeah.
Don't use your people. I'm not trying to use my people. I'm not trying to put anyone on the map. You know, there's brilliant people who are doing so many beautiful things all across the field where I'm from. And I'm so proud of them. I am just trying to show you who I am. And I would love to have a conversation with other people and be like, okay, where are you from? And I would love to do it under a Palestinian olive tree. That's it.
Last thing about Palestine. We
Yeah.
can move on after this. But Palestinian culture in terms of music, like, do you feel like some people, let's say, I look at Saint Levant and I'm like, I like what he's doing.
I knew you were going to bring up St. Levant. I don't know why.
I mean,
Of course you're going to bring up
we
Saint
need the views out here.
Yes.
But good music, good representation. I think he's had his moments where he strayed left to right, but I think at this point he found a good way, a good balance to represent Palestine, while also still doing his goals. So some people think, you know, you're Palestinian, that's your whole brand. You have to be Palestinian every time you go on the stage. You have to bring it up every time you get the chance to. But Kaman, at the end of the day, there's a balance between both. You need to be able to do what you want to do in life, actually. What you want your vision to be. You also, Kaman, you need to do it in a way where maybe you represent your country that you're from. So what do you think of that culture? So I'm like Ilyana and the new generation,
the new
of
very cool generation. Yeah, I mean, what do I think about their representation of their culture,
or just in general the art that they're putting out?
Look, art is art.
Yeah,
you're gonna have people who disagree with it, and you're gonna have a lot of people who are gonna be like, "Wow." I will. There's one thing I will never do. I won't openly criticize Ibn Baladi, بغض النظر, because I think I know some people in his circle as well, and he seems like a very nice guy. I love representation. Can representation be bad? I think that's a question. I don't know. I don't know if representation can be bad. Probably yes, but the way I would answer that is I think you need it's necessary in all aspects of the life, whether it's music, food, art. You need your culture to be there. So listen, man, I'm gonna support them in that sense, and I think في ناس بيضلوا, because again we come from a relatively, I would say, conservative society in Palestine. So for them it's like, I don't know if Ilyana represents the Palestinian struggle. She's not representing the Palestinian. She's representing what Palestine is to her. And I think that's special. So I will never take that away from her, nor can I. And that's the way I look at it. That sounds like a very diplomatic answer. No, because it is, but like it's يعني, but I will say something. في اشياء يعني that I think people need to get their head out of the gutter, and it's not everything they're doing is Palestinian. So for example, طلع أغنية جديدة Saint Levant, يا صباح الورد, with Miss Lebanon, by the way. Well, I don't know if she even went to AUB, but she seems like she went to AUB.
LAU,
but LAU, I know someone from there. Okay. So that is not a representation of my culture, but it's a representation of Shami culture. The culture of listening to Fairuz in the morning, بتشم ريحة القهوة والحجة بتسويها على الstove. So I do think, just to summarize the answer, it's very important that you allow people to express themselves the way they want to express themselves, and then you can do the judgment on yourself. But does it have to be the perfect? Because there's no such thing as perfect representation. أنت فلسطيني وأنا فلسطيني وهو فلسطيني صح؟ أو أصلاً كلنا فلسطيني. We all view Palestine differently. Show it the way you want to show it. As long as أنت ما بتسيء لعائلتك ولا لبلدك in the way that you think, and then if sometimes you go out of line, people who love you will keep you in check. And I think that's that. Actually, but it's necessary.
I had a convo about this the other day with someone. We're talking about whether being Palestinian is a blessing or a curse. Not don't look at it as like, you know, let's say, you know,
It's a
It's
good
obviously
topic, yeah.
blessing بس كمان انه you can say in an alternate universe خاصة انت بتولد let's say American you have not American you can be anything بس انه القضية isn't your whole you
Yeah.
don't feel this weight on your shoulder
Yeah.
بس كمان it's a blessing لأنه it gives you the push we don't need to get into this but this is just a convo that I was having the other
You
day
are
and I
opening
was-
amazing topics, by the way. Wallah al-azim, I'm not even just saying this بجامل فيك. Very deep question. But I'll answer it this way. You can remove this if you want. I'm personally Muslim, so I believe in no ربنا خلقنا for a reason, and I believe as a Muslim that we were created to make the decision whether or not to pray to God or to worship God. And worshiping isn't just salah som, it's everything.
100%.
If God created us in that way, that means He held us in high regard as beings. Even angels don't have a choice. We have a choice. So I think a big part of being Palestinian is you're forced to you have to be something.
Yeah.
And that's why most Palestinians I know are something.
Definitely.
The highest, at one point we had the highest I think rate of percentage of people in the population who were educated or had masters or PhDs or something. And that's real struggle culture. That's hustle culture, which is I'm going to be something, I'm going to be competent, and I'm going to give back to society. And I'm not going to forget where I'm from either. So is it a blessing or a curse? It is 1000% a blessing because it frees your mind.
Yeah.
You don't follow something that you don't believe in. You are forced to, you know what? The best thing a human being can be is to think about other people. And as a Palestinian, you have to think about your community. You have to think about back home. يعني طلعت نزلت يا صباح الورد والياسمين. But guess what? Even Saint Levant, Eliana, she just did an opening in the World Cup, which is insane. And ولبستها الكوفية.
Yeah.
So agree or disagree, that comes from a higher power, man.
Yeah, it's a weight put on your shoulders that you need to represent, carry.
It's a weight that once you put the kufiya on your shoulders, it feels like lightweight.
Yeah.
Because you're speaking from your heart, man. So we're cursed probably because we rant a lot about Palestine. That's the only thing. So yeah, definitely a blessing.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Ooh, to switch the convo, just for the influency people, not to be
Let's talk about influencers.
not to bring. Not
I mean,
to be
Saint
angry.
Levant is an influencer, yeah, somewhat.
But, what was your experience like with influencers, hiring them? Did you feel like they're beneficial for you, for F&B, for other? Do you recommend, let's say, coffee shop owners in the UAE to get influencers, or maybe other industries, maybe coffee stores don't really benefit, or sorry, I keep saying coffee stores. I know it's more, but no, influencers for you, you'd probably
F&B is unique again because if Dubai is saturated when it comes to business, it's super saturated when it comes to F&B. Probably the most saturated. It's necessary. You need influencers. For me, I didn't speak the language when I started. For me, I thought get a couple big ones. Oh, inshallah, it's gonna happen. You need frequency. You need reach. You need to do it constantly. You need to create. You need to be picky.
100%.
You need to be very picky with who you choose to represent you, and then allow other people to come in if they come organically. My strategy was I didn't have the budget to pay XYZ 10 20 30 for one post. اللي هتجيب لي 10 بوتلات زيت ما بتطلع her cost. You had to do that for 2 years to be able to طلع the cost. So I'm like, that's actually one of the reasons I started doing supper clubs. Is I felt like it would be a good excuse to reel these influencers in, and it worked. Genuinely, and I met so many cool people. So many cool people who came through the supper club, wallah al-azim, for free. I just gave them free food. I'm like, come, let's have a conversation. And that's all it took. So you can consider that my journey with influencing. I'm still learning till now. Now you have something called UGC, I think user generated content, and there's a lot of AI influencers now that's on the come up.
Still, I feel like AI influencers still need some time.
Again, humans need humans. I don't think it's going to be a thing. So
gimmicky for at this point,
but so are the humans at this point. Yeah, so I need to learn from you.
Influencers. I mean, so this was a mistake we also made, which was you learn a lot, of course. But we were trying to, let's say, reach out to as many influencers as we can. Whoever replies, we weren't that picky because, like you were saying, خلاص, let's just try to get who we can.
Yeah.
This is with the first business I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where you learn, it doesn't work that way. You need someone that actually represents what you're going for. A few that we got right until now, those ones we still get people reaching out. We still get comments on videos that are like a year old at this point. Minwara picking the right people.
Yeah.
Picking the wrong people just means they're not gonna actually put their heart into it. For them, I mean, I don't judge influencers clear for this, but an influencer that just takes any brand deal, كمان loses value in their community of any. If you pick your right niche, if you understand your audience, خلاص, you can actually influence in a correct way. Well, actually, I like the decision هون عملوه إنه influencers need a license.
Yeah.
لأنه influencers actually control what we see at this point. يعني أنت you follow, let's say, 1,000 influencers, 500 influencers, whatever it is. They actually influence your feelings, your emotions, how you feel throughout the day. A product, let's say you're feeling sick, this influencer comes out and he's like, if you drink this water, you'll feel 10 times better. Those are things that you're seeing every day. So you need to make sure that they're saying things that actually add up. But I saw that you've been posting recently.
I'm trying. So, fun fact, I don't like to hear or see myself on camera since I was a kid. I don't know why, but it's just been always the case. But خلص, I think I've realized now at the tender age of 30 that you need a personal brand as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Not in a way that I will make it my business. I will start by learning my mistakes. I've been posting more voiceovers, and slowly I'm going to be posting. I've been shooting a lot of content actually that hasn't been posted yet. And a big part of it is, again, I'm trying to find my personal brand. And I'm not telling you I know it exactly. Finas, if you go with an agency, they'll tell you, I think this is what you are.
No.
I don't want to do that. I want to, and there's some of them who are honest. They're like, Habibi, find who you are aslan. Which felt a bit rude, right? It was like, find who you are and then come to me and tell me and I'll film that for you. And then like, you know what? Let me dabble with it instead of paying endless amounts of freaking money. I have a friend who's good at editing, or one editor bati an X amount of money, and I'll shoot different content and I see the one that sticks, the persona that sticks, and I'm gonna run with it.
I love that. صراحة, that's especially for personal branding, that's the way to go. لأنه you can't just get like if you're a brand, okay, you can get a marketing agency, whatever. But as a person, I mean, at the end of the day, that's again who you're putting out.
It's necessary. Mishkah man is data, personal. There needs to be the person behind it.
Definitely.
You know.
Who manages that for you, for Mishkah, the marketing side?
So I have shout out to Farruh, my baby sister.
Yeah.
I worked with someone initially when we started, but then again, because it's so personal, I needed someone to speak, number one, the language and understand what's behind it.
Definitely.
And no one knows that more than Farah, my sister. So she's the graphic designer. She does the social media posts. And now she's doing a lot of my editing now as well. So yeah.
Perfect. It was nice having you.
Habibi, thank you so much.
It was.
Let's see what you have to cut out, which is a lot probably.
Leave it up to the editor.
والله الeditor راح يدخلنا في مصيبة يا زلمة.